Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kaylee and it's time to watch the newest episode of Apothecary Diaries. I absolutely loved last episode. I was starting to feel like the season started off very energetic and like there was a lot going on, and then we kind of got a couple episodes that were a little bit slower, a little bit like building up the storyline for the rest of the season, which is totally cool. Last episode, perfection. Loved it. I am obsessed with the fact that they chose Jinshi to be the moon fairy. I just love seeing the whole like plot unfold and how they pulled it off. It was stunning. It was like perfection on Maomao's part. We definitely got to see a lot more of the envoys, which is kind of interesting, and it does seem like they're gunning for the emperor to become concubines or essentially like marry the emperor and his brother, which now that I think about it, isn't his brother just like, is it jinshi? Maybe not. I don't know. I'm still like not 100% sure. The whole like switching babies, like all of that. So I thought Jinshi looked absolutely beautiful. I loved the like angry Jinshi moments after the plan worked and he's like, my hair is still wet. I loved it. I love when he pouts and like Maomao gets to be like the adult in the room and just like make him feel better. And it's so clear that she's like placating him, but I still think it's funny. One thing that I also think is so interesting is that she is constantly talking about how beautiful Jinshi is. And I think from her mind, it's totally like objective. Like basically she's talking about it as if you would like read results from like a scientific experiment or something. She's like, he's beautiful. He could start wars. Okay, moving on. It's like, it's very funny. It just doesn't feel like there's too much emotion attached to it. And I like, it makes me wonder if there is and she's just not realizing it, or she doesn't understand why she's constantly thinking about the fact that he's so attractive, or like she's always thinking about the fact that he's a eunuch. So there's just a lot of things that she brings up all the time that I just think are very interesting and potentially very indicative of like what she's actually thinking deep down that doesn't quite make it to the surface. She also discovered kind of like an infirmary or clinic in the rear palace, and she kind of learns that the reason they can't make that area the medical center for the entire rear palace is because essentially women cannot be doctors. And so even though they have smart, qualified people back there helping, they can't really administer medicine or do any of the things that you need to be like a qualified doctor to do. It kind of goes into Jinshi telling her, don't tell people you make medicines because that's obviously against the law. And she gives the lady in waiting who is sick at the clinic the medicine, and basically like the head, not doctor, but the head woman at the clinic is essentially like, she makes medicines, doesn't she? Because I could smell it on her, which is crazy. But I guess when you're like using herbs and natural resources to make medicine, that makes sense. So I'm interested to see if this old woman at the clinic is like chill and it's gonna be fine, or if she's gonna be a rat and like Mama's gonna find herself maybe in some trouble. So I guess we'll see. If you want to stick around for this season of Apothecary Diaries, go ahead and hit subscribe. The uncut version of this reaction is over on Patreon, so I'll put the link in the description box below if you want to check that out. But now let's jump into season 2, episode 6 of Apothecary Diaries.
呼び出しですか？診療所の女官から？ええ、マオマオに会いたいそうよ。
Oh no. No, but here's the thing. I feel like if she was gonna tell somebody and get Maomao in trouble, she would have not met with Maomao. Oh. Yeah, I don't know what borrow Maomao for a while means, because obviously, I don't know, maybe she's just like down with it and she's like, I need some medicine and I'm not trying to go to that like quack that works in the clinic. So maybe I'll just borrow this girl that makes it. Maybe she's cool.
わざわざお目付け役まで。
シェンリュと申します。
緑がかった目。玉葉様と同じ裁縫の生まれか？
昨日は失礼いたしました。貴妃のところの方とはつゆ知らず。
いえ、貴妃とは玉葉様の官名だ。
お呼び立てしたのは頼みたいことがあるからでして。
どうぞ。
剣妃リファ妃の水晶球の下女に薬を作っていただきたいのです。
それがどういうことか分かってるの？イカン以外が薬を作っていると、もし表沙汰になったら。
She's doing it anyways, so.
すいません、話だけでも。
よろしいのですか？こちらの洗濯場に来ていた顔なじみの下女でして、キャラバンの時期から 倦怠感や微熱が続いているようでした。それが妙な咳まで出るようになって、一度しっかり休みを取るように言ったのです。ところがそれからばったり姿を見せず。
つまり診療所にも来てないと。
はい、上からのお許しが出なかったのかもしれません。
下女が許しを請う相手ならリファ様ではなく次女頭だ。願い出たところで無視された可能性が高い。
面倒くさいことになったわね。本当にいるのかしら、そんな下女。
調べる必要はあるかと。
こういうの気になる性格なのはわかるけど、ちゃんとお伺いは立てなさいね。突っ走るのは良くない癖よ。
Fair. However, I feel like if she asks Jinshi, he's just like not gonna be about it because again, like this doesn't necessarily have anything to do with him. Not saying he's selfish, but I'm saying like he might view it as an unnecessary risk if he doesn't like fully know the context. But it might also be like, oh, we don't want things to spread everywhere, so let's contain it while we can. I am interested to know like why, because I feel like the old lady, like she can probably make medicines, so why doesn't she? Maybe so she doesn't take the risk herself, maybe so maomao does it, or maybe she doesn't know how, but I feel like she definitely can.
すいません、探し物が見つかったのでつい。
探し物って？
これです。残念ながら本体には逃げられてしまいました。取れた尻尾がなぜ生えてくるか調べてみようと。
Oh my god.
インファ様。
Oh. Oh no, she's dying.
どこに行くの？
シン様。
またあそこに顔を出すつもり？言ったわよね。余計なことはするなと。
シン様、医局から先生がお見えに。
先生、何かご用ですか？
経費に会いたいのだがね。
申し訳ありません。リファ様はあなたにはお会いしたくないと思われますが。
でもこのように書状はもらっている。
失礼ですが、リファ様はお元気ですよ。
それはよかった。
So did they actually get Jinshi's permission? Because I don't know, it feels like maybe they didn't.
一族のためにも帝の寵愛を得ることが大切なのだ。わかったな、リファ。シン。
はい。
Are they sisters?
それなのにどうして？どうしました？
ここ最近庭をいじったりは？
Also, is that maomao? Like, why is she so tall, if so?
今日はこうつけていらっしゃるんですね。シン様。
あなた、あの時の。
Ooh.
待ちなさい。
Okay, they pulled a whole trick. I feel like Jinshi definitely does not know about this.
おじさん、お湯沸かしてください。
わかった。
ゆっくりこれを飲んで。どうしてこんな扱いを？
どうしたも何もないわ。病がうつらないよう病人を隔離するのは常識でしょう。
Well, not if she's
確かに
dying.
感染力は低いですが、これはうつる病です。でもこのような処置を続けていたら死に至ります。リファ妃が病に伏せていた時のことです。病人の匂いをごまかすように香が焚かれていました。
何が言いたいの？
今度はまるで逆だと感じたのです。香の匂いをごまかすために病人が置かれているようだと。水晶宮の次女は本当に隠し事が多いですね。先日禁止となったキャラバンの交易品がこんなに。一つ一つは小さな毒でも、それが混ざればどうなることか。堕胎剤を作ろうなんてどういうおつもりですか？
Okay, wait. Why is that what she's trying to do? And if so, then does that have anything to do with the story that we heard from Gaoshin, which is like two sisters, one snuck out, got pregnant, etc., etc., etc.? And if so, who is the sister? Oh,
一度
man,
の
she
訪
got
問で見つかるなら
platforms.
変装する必要なかったかな。 顔を知られてるし長期戦も覚悟してたんだけど。
では行きましょう。皆様お揃いです。
Okay, so maybe Jinshi did know. Man. Oh
これは
no.
どういうことだろうか、シン殿。キャラバンの品には毒物になり得るものがあったため回収する。そう触れが出ていたはずだが。
シン様、水晶宮の次女頭でリファ様のいとこでもある。面差しがどことなく似て目を引く誇り高そうな美女だ。
質問を変えよう。禁止された交易品で何をしようとしていた？
何のことか分かりません。確かに病の下女を物置に寝かせるように指示しました。何が置いてあるかまでは存じませんでした。それが罪になりますか？逆を言えば誰でも近づけました。これらが私のものである証拠でも。
それはあの場にいた下女に聞けばよいことだ。
熱に浮かされ朦朧としていた下女の発言をどこまで信頼できますか？
Oh, she's the
熱に浮かさ
worst.
れていたことは知っているのですね。それなら体に香油の匂いが残っていてもおかしくありませんね。以前は香油の匂いなどしなかった神様でも、今日の神様はこの香油と同じ匂いがします。この瓶は氷の中に置かれておりました。果たしてにじみ出るほど強い匂いでしょうか。
薬や。
Oh.
大したことはありません。違う方に調べてもらいましょう。
その辺で私に任せてもらえないかしら。
Yeah, it'd be good if you spoke up, maybe.
たとえ真の狙いが私であっても。
リファヒ、それは。
そういうことか。リファ様の服、玉葉様が着ている服に似ている。
シン、あなたは一度も私のことを妃扱いしてくれなかったわよね。国母としてふさわしくない、そう思っていたんでしょう。
Oh man, she is calling her out.
上から目線で言ってるの。そういうところが昔から嫌いなのよ。勉強も作法も私の方ができ
This
た。
got so
他にもいっ
serious.
ぱい。あなたよりも私の方が優れてるのに。
Oh, she's mad.
周りはみんな当主の娘だから。あなたは私よりも上なわけ。そんなわけないわ。私はずっと国母になるべき育ったのよ。こうなせず花園で枯れるといい。リファー。
神様は帝をよほどお慕いしているのですね。
当たり前じゃない。何を言うの。
国母という立場を愛しているように見えましたので。
Damn.
リファ様と違って。
そんな風に思っていたのね、シン。
That was crazy. That was
ジ
crazy.
ンシ殿、この次女頭は主に暴言を吐きました。よってこの者を解雇します。
リファヒ、それは。
あら、平手では足りませんか？
やるな。もう昔のリファ様じゃない。自分の玉の尾のついえるのを待つ儚げな女性はどこにもいない。もう二度と二人が並び立つ日は来ないだろう。
使え。血が出ているぞ。
平気ですよ。薄皮一枚ですし。
そういう問題じゃない。なぜ病人が物置にいると分かった？
ある程度目星はつけてましたよ。病気なので皆の寝床から離れた目立たない場所だろうと。それと目印があったので。
あの庭木が？
風水では緑と白の組み合わせは健康にいいそうですから。
なるほどな。
Oh.
それに
Maomao knows so
お
many
白い花
things.
というのが何とも皮肉ですが、種に詰まっている白い粉が堕胎剤にも使われるんです。
そこら中に生えてるぞ。
作り方さえ知らなければ害はありません。今日の香油と同じです。
He's like, this would be helpful to know because they're
神
everywhere.
様は
So
なぜ香油が堕胎剤になることを知っていたのでしょう。
薬屋、一つ聞いてもいいか？この高級の中に香油が堕胎剤となることを吹き込んだ人物がいると。
Yeah, it's probably that not dead girl from the first
で
season.
すが用心するに越したことはないかと。
物置にいた子どうなりました？
高級を出て治療を受けるそうです。リファ様の申し出だ。責任は自分にあるからと費用も負担するらしい。
Okay, I kind of actually like her now. Like, I didn't really like her in the first season, but this episode has really turned my opinion around. I also like, can we not ignore the fact that Maomao's scratches now make her look like a cat even more than she has before? It's not cute, but it's like kind of cute, you know?
あのクス氏が来ていたようだな。
はい、何でもご存知ですのね。彼女には助けられてばかりです。どうなさいました？
いや、
I don't know what that means, but it makes me nervous. He seemed to like Maomao so far. Like, I feel like every time he's somewhere that Maomao is, it seems like he is kind of chill with her. So, I don't know. Okay, another really good one, because we finally found out some information about these oils or these components that could lead to miscarriage or abortion. That was a really interesting twist I wasn't expecting, because I did not know they were related. I didn't know they were cousins. I just knew that I didn't really like Lady Shin that much, just based on past events, and just her whole demeanor feels strange. But now it makes so much sense about the resentment that she had, how she could have easily been the concubine. But again, like Maomao called it, she's like, obviously these two don't stack up in many ways. And so it makes sense that LIHUA is the concubine, but it's just very interesting. So I loved getting that insight. I love that we found out a little like piece of information about that storyline. I obviously think it's part of a much bigger storyline, kind of what was teased at the end of like, how would she really know that all of those components together can be used to make an abortion drug? So someone with that knowledge probably has to be telling her, and if they're telling her, they're probably telling other people, which is potentially maybe a reason why the caravan brought those items, or why so many of those items were purchased from the caravan, because there could be a lot of uses for something like that. They're not just to like cause harm to somebody else, but also a lot of servants. I don't know, there just could be things going on where like you might need that to save your life or to save your place as a servant or a lady in waiting or whatever that means in the rear palace. So we've seen Maomao kind of wonder about the girl from the first season who was dead but then wasn't dead, because she obviously worked in the medic office, so she has some knowledge about those things. So it makes sense if she was the one who was giving that information for like a bigger goal, right? And we haven't seen her, but Maomao keeps like kind of remembering her and maybe questioning like where she went after that whole situation. So I don't know, I'm feeling like it's her, and I'm feeling like this is just one piece of like a very big puzzle for the season. So if you want to stick around through this season of Apothecary Diaries, go ahead and hit subscribe. The uncut version of this reaction is over on Patreon if you want to check that out. The link is in the description box below. And I'll see you guys next week for episode 7 of season 2 of Apothecary Diaries. Bye.